Everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today will be an intuitive channeling and we'll close off with a reading. Um, it's been a while, so returning to this is a little bit interesting. There have been a lot of changes, as there always is, but this time I'm doing something different unintentionally by taking time to integrate everything before just showing up too raw. There's too much rawness going on. Before, the rawness was manageable and it was like cute to share, and because we all want to be vulnerable nowadays. So doing that was like the thing. But now, because there's just too many unknown factors, and the field that we're playing in is way too new and too sensitive, and processing it it's been pretty difficult. Let me finish, baby. This is, today alone has been quite something. These past 2 weeks, 2 weeks now, and ever since Mercury retrograde started, it's been quite a lot. And I know retrogrades are normally like this. We usually anticipate them to be this intense, but this is new considering how many other things are happening astrologically. This month has been major, as I've mentioned before. It's been majorly anticipated for a very, very long time. And I'm sure now we're 13 days in, March 2026, we can feel the majorness, the intensity of everything. The things that need to be faced within us, that really need to change. We can't sit and delay it any longer. Baby, please put the volume down. Sorry. I know this theme is something that I've also mentioned before, about there being many things that need to change within us, that at this point, not so much that we thought we had more time. It feels more like the space between when we realize that things need to change and the amount of time that our external universe gives us to process the fact that we need to change is so much shorter. So it's like today we realize, oh, wow, that's something that needs to change that I don't like about myself or that I don't like about my situation. And then tomorrow, some external something triggers that to think about that again, so that it's like our universes are constantly pressuring us to change, keep up, be accountable, be present, stand on your word. That thing you said that you would do last week, do it now, right now. Then next day comes, do it now. There's like an urgency, but the urgency in itself feels covered in this now I'm getting the sense of, how when you procrastinate doing something and then you do the thing and you realize after or while doing the thing that it was actually really easy to do and you could have started it sooner. That's what a lot of us are facing right now. And it can be uncomfortable to realize how much you've been standing in your own way in that sense, which is another thing that's coming up for a lot of us. And the main thing that I've been seeing, it's interesting because we're all talking about it in our own languages, but it seems we're all pointing towards the same main thing, like how we talk about God, how we all believe in our different gods, but we're all actually talking about the same thing, is the mother wound and the wound of receiving, the wound of an open heart, or living an open model, just an open-heartedness here, our open, the openness or closeness of our heart center is, I think, something that's being painfully challenged, whether through direct mother wounding or through invitations to open your heart up more, or through prompts to close your heart, not so much close it, but more like apply stricter boundaries. I think I also mentioned this in the last time that I did a reading or channeling, where I said that, where I spoke about empaths and soft people and how we're going to have to be more responsible for ourselves, more responsible for protecting our own selves, instead of instead of what we thought we could do before, which was rely on other people to protect us in the same way we protect them. Now it's about knowing what spaces to involve yourself in, knowing who to hang out with, knowing who to keep close, and having that embody the choice of protecting our own selves, choosing someone who empowers you, choosing to spend time with someone who empowers you versus someone who disempowers you, even in a jokey way, choosing to remove yourself from spaces that make you feel disempowered, altogether, like actively, even if it's family. That's something that I've also been seeing a lot of, that a lot of people have been needing to make the hard decision of drawing boundaries with family. Whereas before, this idea of, this is family, so there doesn't need to be that many boundaries or whatever. Them applying those boundaries in that kind of dynamic can be really painful, because it can be something that you are at risk of taking personally, and it's not personal. As I've said in the beginning, it's a matter of protecting yourself. It's a matter of finding sovereignty. It's a matter of the Aries theme that we are all hovering around. Aries, Virgo, and I believe this Mercury it's retrograding in tropical Virgo. And something that I think a lot of people would be surprised by if you're not a Virgo placement is how intentional Virgo placements are. They're so intentional that it can seem very mean. Their choices and the way that they analyze things, it can seem very mean, but they're just trying to place their intention. And if you are intentional, then it won't come across as mean. Anything they say, it won't come across as too judgmental. They won't come across as the perfectionists that we like to label them as. They're just being intentional. So I think we could learn a lot from Virgos during this time, and from Cancer placements and Leo placements, and maybe Pisces placements, but the mature ones, not the ones that are still dangerously delusional. And seeing this as a Pisces rising, I know how we get. So yeah, there's some of the Pisces placements you stick to, some of the Pisces placements probably stay a little bit away from during this time, especially the ones who are hard at facing the truth, because this isn't the time. It is so energetically intense that there are a lot of potential situations that involve avoiding the truth or avoiding facing the reality of a situation. And immature Pisces placements, or underdeveloped, whatever that word is, Pisces placements are very good at not facing the truth. You need to face the truth right now. No matter how hurtful it is, you need to really be able to sit with that discomfort and let it eat you up inside, and not be drawn to do bad things or to be harmful or unproductive. Let it challenge you. Let it break you down. Scorpios are also people to learn from right now and people to stay away from. I'm a tropical Scorpio, stellium. So yeah, interesting times. I think I've said everything I need to say. I was worried about finding my feet again in this, because it's always so nerve-wracking to present myself on social media through this work that I'm doing that's very, very, very niche and strange, and So anyway, let's see what cards come up. I'm going to shuffle for 3. The opening energy is super, super fitting in terms of suggesting like how we can go about these times and the best way to move forward. And I love that. It's very personal for me. Okay. It's very personal for me. Because, yeah, I'll explain. All right. So we have the Queen of Wands, which is the thing I was yapping about. Like I said, it's very personal to me because of how I pretty much have to show up as this in this reading with this work that I'm doing. I activate the inner ritualistic, spiritual, sometimes superstitious, sometimes over energetic, overexcited, jumping to conclusions, all of that stuff. I activate that very energetic, spiritual part of me that lives in between worlds. This is a very in between world figure. And these are very in-between world times where, as I mentioned before, anything that you are experiencing right now on the material level, do not take at face value. Sit, pause with it, absorb, take it in, and know that there are spiritual forces at play, spiritual energetic forces at play that are reflecting what you are experiencing in real time. If you, for example, find yourself interacting in a unique encounter with someone, on the surface, it may just seem like an, oh, wow, coincidental encounter, but energetically, there is something you are being signaled. So pay attention to every moment that you are experiencing. Pay attention. After that, we have the Hierophant in reverse, and then the Nine of Swords and the King of Cups. If you find yourself feeling over emotional, over energetic, with bursts of energy, I'm also receiving the possibility of not having any sleep, where you wake up at odd hours of the night and you're feeling super emotional about something. Try to pray. This card to me in reverse gives a neglecting of some kind of ritual, system, tradition, process, or whatever that you know works, but you're not doing it. And as a result, pain ensues and the inability to stabilize. But this also is more like an invitation to stabilize through the act of returning to your ritualistic practices is what I'm receiving. These two cards together, wild, energetic, spiritually charged person, not surrendering to their spiritual powers. As a result, processing and going through a lot of pain. Maybe you've been crying a lot these days. The story or the journey right now is to find emotional stabilization through your ritualistic practices, through remembering who you are on an energetic soul level versus all this material shit that may very well be the thing that's getting you riled up right now. You or someone you know. Beneath, we have the Nine of Wands. This is very, very exhausted energy on a emotional, on a mind level, which links to your emotions, and on a spiritual level. So emotionally, there may be a little bit of an upheaval going on, but I like that this is present because it's giving that stabilization or finding equilibrium, the opportunity to do that. It's there. You just need to work to find it. You need to do the praying stuff, the church stuff, if you're that kind of person. The rituals, you have to return to that as soon as possible. I'm also getting with the presence of all of these cards together that puttering may help. So waking up in the witchy hours of the day between 2 and 4 a.m. and paying attention to the symbols that you receive during that time. Even if you just set an alarm, briefly just give your awareness to the moment, meditate for maybe like 5 to 15 minutes, and then go back to sleep. You might gain a lot of insight from doing that. I know I did back when I was doing that through my grief period, when I was grieving. That's what I would do, and it would be very helpful in processing that grief. Beneath the Nine of Wands, you have the Two of Swords and then the Five of Pentacles. So this is also giving a mother wound in a sense. And I was considering the idea I've mentioned before, where we all feel on some level abandoned by God instead of connected to God and connected to the system, the spiritual house that protects us through our traditional practices, our cultural practices, spiritual, ritualistic, religious practices. I think as a collective, we're neglecting it, but it's easy to do. If they're like beneath all of that, you had the Seven of Cups. Easy to do with all the distractions that are happening. Lots of distractions, lots of bullshit happening inside our lives, like in the living, in the living. Beneath that all, we have Temperance, and the Page of Cups. This is definitely, again, another call to return to the praying. Return to divination and connecting to your angels and just believing in them, because there can also be a lack of belief in the fact that they are with you, but they are. And it's not just because it's not even a fact of, it's not just that they are with you, it's that you yourself are also very powerful. You are very powerful. Don't underestimate that. And don't underestimate how protected you are. I'm going to shuffle from Intuitive Tarot now. See if more of a story comes there. We'll see what comes up. I usually say one card, but let's just see. Let's just vibe. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, lots of pain showing up here. The Three of Swords and the Seven of Discs. We have the Seven again, and in this deck, the Seven of Discs holds, in my opinion, the same energy as the Seven of Cups in the Rider-Waite deck, and in the Seven of Cups in its own deck, where it speaks of the sense of uncertainty and not knowing what to do next. So that is very much acknowledged in the energy that you may or may not be present in, you or someone you know. And understand that all of this is happening, all this uncertainty and sense of inertia is happening because of your emotional body. There's lots happening there with your emotions, with all of our emotions. And it's best to take things as slow as possible during this time. I'm going to shuffle for one more card. And then sit with the interpretation. Thank you. We have the One of Rods and the Ten of Rods. Again, extending. The Ten of Rods in this deck it links very closely to the Nine of Wands in this one. Both are persevering, both are exhausted, both are a little bit on the defense right now. Not very open, more prepared for the worst than they are for the best. And then the King of Cups appears again. So at least, and beneath we have the Sun. At least for the most part, we are hopeful, right? We seem to be in fair emotional standing. We are processing a lot of pain, but something about the process is going well. Even if you might not feel it, know that energetically the work is being done. Thank goodness. I feel called to explore the Three of Swords. Yeah, we're transitioning into winter this side, and winter is my toughest season. Every time without fail, winter season is the worst time of the whole year and of my life. Winter is such a tough, it's like those end of year exams, but like the end, like the matric exams, the grade 12 exams. That's what winter is for me. But it's always so tough. It's like Wits. Yes, if anyone knows the experience of going to Wits, how it gives you the edge, going to tertiary education in general. But there's something about Wits, the University of Witwatersrand, that is so like, they intentionally want to break your spirit, those people. But anyway, shout out to them, because they end up always like, I mean, people who come from Wits, they're soldiers. So we have a problem that splits you apart. Any attempt to problem solve using the intellect alone will be counterproductive. Heartbreak, a need to express grief and unhappiness without projecting it onto the outside world or acting out. And with the presence of the King of Cups, that is exactly what we are doing. Super proud of us, because this fucking pain, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad, and we have every reason with where we are at right now, energetically, emotionally, and even on like a living basis, possibly experiencing any kind of material hardship or uncertainty of what to do next. We have every reason to act the fuck out. You could be doing crack. So shout out to every single one of us holding it down in like emotional stability, presence in our relationships. If you're still able to show up even for the little things, if you're still able to like make your bed, drink water, eat something, anything, even if it's just one cracker, like one biscuit, shout out to you. Shout out to you. and really try to really, really forgive yourself and others through this time. It's not easy for anybody. Even for the people who are showing that it's easy, it's not easy. I saw a tweet by Astro Council Vic today who he mentioned how this time it's going to come with a certain kind of heaviness very naturally. Even if you're experiencing something joyful, there may still be this lulling heaviness that's sitting beneath the surface. And he followed to say that there are some transits that there are some planets that are supposed to go direct by May, which is like, what? I have to wait until May? But yeah, by May, apparently, everything's going to feel better, lighter. We'll come out of all of this with more of a about what to do next. Like I said, the Virgo intention thing, we're going to come out with more of a focused intention about what we want and what really, really needs to go. That whole thing of letting go of what no longer serves you, blah, we're going to really know what to let go of. And it's going to be hard, as it is, but we'll come out on top, you know. Oh, so lovely, so lovely. Thank you to the angels. Temperance shows up again after the sun. They're really with us. And if anything else, it's time to apply that Delulu stuff. Imagine your angels smiling over you, like sitting right here. Imagine their face right next to you, always smiling tenderly at all of the problems you face with a kind voice in response that says, just sit and wait. Just observe. We've got you. There's something unfolding here, you know? Your human mind really, like, oh my God, at this rate, guys, we are trying to have our human mind grasp something that is truly ingraspable on a material level. Like our egos will not be able to make sense of it. And something about the presence of this is saying you're trying to make egoic logical sense of something that is not logical at all. Not at all. Not at all. Hang it up. 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 And feel through everything. And if you feel called to it, if it's something that you feel grounded in, it works. Pray through everything. So serious. Like the prayer stuff really has to take it has to go on another level now. It really does. We can't be taking that shit lightly anymore. We have to take it seriously. Keep up with the rituals. Every single thing. Keep up. I feel called to touch on the 7 of discs. I was going to close, but then I saw the 7 of discs and was like, this might be important. We have a need for quiet observation before action, but also a need to check your underlying motivation, ensuring you aren't sabotaging your plans by lack of action. And you're not. Temperance showed up twice, so that sentence is not relevant here. You are not sabotaging anything by a lack of action. It's like I'm getting the sense of, you know, when you play netball, when you play netball and you're trying to make a score and the goalkeeper is like waving their hands in your face so that you can't get a clear aim of the hoop. It's that kind of thing that's happening right now where God is, or our universe, our souls, whatever, is purposefully distracting us so that we can get clear about, so that we can get focused. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sure you understand the metaphor. Becoming aware of the body's messages, working with it for self-knowledge, recognizing your limitations. The part about becoming aware of the body's messages feels important. And I feel called to highlight the body's connection to the other worlds and how, and the body's intelligence. The body is more intelligent than the mind, in my opinion. The mind is shrouded with judgment and programmings and is extremely sensitive and warped to this reality that we're in, but the body knows, the heart knows. The mind is just the machine. It's just like the CPU or whatever. The part that enters in the inputs and stuff like that, in my opinion, if you can transition into living a life where the input comes from the body, the intuition and the heart, and you leave the mind as just the processor, don't take it seriously. Don't take this place seriously. So the practice of meditation may be super, super helpful during this time. I recommend it to everybody. I've started needing to meditate twice a day. because it's been so real. It's been so real keeping up and trying to stay balanced and stuff. But there's also been really exciting things happening, exciting developments and connections and feelings that I'm feeling inside, and understandings of intimacy and love and all that mushy stuff. It's been nice and hard at the same time. And even the opening of that, the opening of my world in that way has been really, really uncomfortable, because it's like, it's just this constant question of, am I safe? And needing to reprogram my mind to remember, yes, you are safe. It's just so tiring. Mothering yourself, needing to mother the self is very tiring, but it's necessary. And hopefully we are ready to keep doing the work. That's all I have. I think I don't want to push too far. Thank you so much for watching. People who keep up with my work intentionally, I'm so grateful. I'll never stop doing this. I love that. I love when I get the chance to separate and then come back to it. And as I come back, remember how much I love to do this. I love doing this. It's so helpful for my energetic processing. I can't even explain. So yeah, thank you. And I'll see you in the next one that I do.